What is up? This is Seagrove again. This time bringing you my baby, Rainbow Road, the deck I've been touting half jokingly as best deck in format from day one, essentially, of the rotation. Um, I play a fully EX version, no Galvantula. I think Galvantula is awesome. I think it completely ruins the consistency of the deck. So I do not play it. Gonna run through what I play and why I play it really quickly, and I'm going to get into a few games so you can see it in action. I have not gotten to test this against Decidueye yet. Once I do, I'll finalize my list, but if I had to go right now, this would be what I would take to Virginia. I'm taking this deck. I just don't know if I'm going to change a couple techs to help against Decidueye depending on how the matchup goes. So I play 3 Shaman. Most play 2. I play a third in case one is prized, and so I can continue to draw late. I play Umbreon for if I ever dead draw or I only need to do 20 more damage to take a knockout. I can knock out and draw cards at the same time. Um, Although I can often use Shaman for that as well, obviously. Uh, 4 Xerneas, 1 break. The break is for Jolteon, but it also is really good against Giratina, and I play it. Jolteon isn't as big anymore, but it is a thing in Decidueye actually. So I was thinking about removing it because of it, Jolteon not seeing as much play, but it is in Decidueye for sure. And I really like the break as well. Um, the extra HP is really nice, and I can play it under item lock obviously as opposed to a Fury Belt. I play Beedrill as my grass type. Double Scrapper is really good against Garbodor. It's also good. I can take a knockout if I need to against something with a Fury Belt that I've already damaged. Jolteon is in there for free retreat, and in EX, obviously. Genesect, the ability is really nice. Lets you pick up an item, so I can put a float stone on him and then pick it up and move it to someone else. I was playing 3 float stones, but I switched to an escape rope because of Breakthrough Yveltal and Fright Night Yveltal and Wobbuffet to get Wobbuffet out of the active. I played 2 Hoopa EX. 2 Hoopa, obviously one is prized, but if one is prized, I have another. But it lets me thin out my deck so much, which is so important for consistency. Um, then I do 2 Volcanion, just for if one is prized. Also, if they Parallel me, I can knock it out and put it in. Having the Volcanion is so important in case you get dropped down to 5, you could still hit 180. So I tried to go down to 1 and I hated it. Um, 1 escape rope I mentioned earlier. 4 elixir. I play 4 elixir and only 7 fairy. I'm thinking about moving that up to 8, but you do hit elixir decent amounts very early and very late because I play 2 super rod. If I don't have to get back Pokemon, I can get back fairy energy with them. 2 trainers mail. This is the card I'm most likely to change. At one of the cups that I taught, I got first place with this at a cup with this exact list. Um, I got 4th place at a cup with a very similar list. I took out before I wasn't playing Trainer's Mail. I was playing 1 Karen for Vespiquen, which is a hard matchup, and 1 for 1 special charge for energy removal. But in a best of 3 format, I think if you don't have to discard a DCE, energy removal is not too bad. 4 Ultra Ball, 4 VS Seeker, 4 Skyfield, a Lily. You get ahead really early, so I like Lily over N. Not over N, but I like to have 1 Lily because you take prizes so early. If you get something in your hand, you don't want a Sycamore, which happens a fair amount late game, but you don't want to draw 1 card. So I play 1 Lily. Only 1 Lysander. That's another card I'm thinking about taking out Trainer's Mail for. It's the 2nd Lysander. 2 N. A Ninja Boy. Ninja Boy is clutch for a few reasons. If I get a Volcanion stranded, I can switch it into a Jolteon. I can Elixir when I don't have a Xerneas on the bench, and then Ninja Boy into that. 4 Sycamore, Fury Belt, 2 Float, and then 4 DCE and 7 Fairy. So that is the list. Let's play a game with it. I actually titled this Virginia because I'm taking it to Virginia. I had it GA question mark earlier, and I regret not taking it to Georgia. I ended up taking Fairy Pancakes because I thought it was a really funny deck. But looks like I'm going to be going against a Volcanion, which is a really easy matchup. I'm going to say that and then lose. No, but it's actually a really, really good matchup for you. So I'm glad that I can showcase this. I might only do this one video since Volcanion's a pretty standard deck, so it's probably going to be pretty good. And I can showcase the power against a solid deck on one video. So, not the best hand, but I just have a ton of confidence in this deck. Hopefully I can find an Ultra Ball, Baller, and I'm going to discard here. I want a Lily because it's turn 1. Let's do it. We're going to Lily. I'm going to grab, instead of a Hoopa, I'm going to grab a Xerneas because I have the elixirs, and we'll see if I can grab cool. All right, well I'm gonna attach this 1 energy because I'm going first, so I can't attack anyways this turn. Ouch! 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 I'm gonna do that. Oh wow! I don't want to leave out Shaman. This is so bad. I don't want to leave out Shaman. If he knocks me out, that would be terrible. But I don't want to. Oh wait, Shaman can't help me draw anyways. Okay, I'm gonna pass. Oh, Shaman can help me draw, but not much. No, it can't because I'm getting it back. Wow. I'm hyping up this deck and then this happens. I'm pretty confident I'll draw out of it. I know this is PTCGO, but I mean, it doesn't get better. It doesn't get more PTCGO than this. I held a Xerneas in case he plays a parallel and he drops it. I don't want to be stuck with just 3 Xerneas on bench. And I didn't play Skyfield for. I don't want to get it bounced, but also I don't want to give it to him. And then he can play like Scorched Earth and drop his Shaman and Hoopa or something like that. Wow, this is rough. Okay. So well, he probably has. He definitely has a Shaman, so. That's so funny. I should have grabbed the Hoopa. That's what I get for not grabbing the Hoopa. Um, this is pretty funny. All that hyping and then this hand. I do feel confident that I'll draw it. I want to say over 20 draw cards in this deck, so I'll probably find something here. Let's see if you can find the third Volcanion and a Fire Energy. So he hits 1 elixir, misses 1 elixir, gets 2 Volcanion, and okay, wow, I still haven't used Sycamore yet or anything. He's looking for this kill. It looks like he's gonna get it. I could be in some pretty big trouble here if I don't draw something nice. If I draw like an Ultra Ball right now, I feel confident that I'll win. Even being down like this. Cool. So what I'm gonna do here, I'm gonna play this. I'm gonna play this. I'm gonna keep my float for now. I'm gonna end Obviously, I don't want to discard that, and I don't want to draw 2 or 3 cards. So that also puts him down to 4. Baller. I love this bet. Okay. So, definitely taking a knockout this turn. And I'll be thinning out my deck significantly with a Hoopa into a Jolteon and a Shaman. Or Genesect and a Shaman. I'm going to leave Jolteon because I only have 2 bench spaces left. This will allow me to Ninja Boy if they're going to knock out anything they pull up, so that's not really relevant. But I like the Genesect just for the float stone mechanic here. I gotta decide if I want to drop the Fury Belt now or later. I'm gonna play it. It's just gonna make him steam up 1 extra time, find an extra energy. Not huge. I'm gonna hold my Trainer's Mail and just Rainbow Force for a lot of damage. 260. So like I said, I was confident that I would draw out of it. I did draw out of it. And that's good. He does obviously have a huge advantage getting first knockout from my terrible start. I'm imagining he's gonna find 6, 7, 1 of his 5 energies, but maybe I'm wrong. He is hesitating quite a bit. So I probably should have got Jolteon. Now I'm thinking about it. I don't have a float stone. I'll probably see one. There's a pretty good chance I'll see one, but talking, I don't. Okay, I'm fine with that. So one mistake people make, and I made this when I first started playing the deck, is when he puts a Scorched Earth down, I'm gonna have to discard Pokemon. I'm thinking, oh, I have 3 Xerneas, so I should discard a Xerneas, even though it's one of my attackers. But he's gonna knock this out, probably. So I definitely do not want to do that. I'm gonna drop Hoopa. I'm gonna drop Shaman, and I'm gonna drop Beedrill. So next, going in my next turn, first thing I want to do is Trainer's Mail, just so I know what my options are. I want to make decisions with the most knowledge possible. Okay, did he get that? He missed it. He didn't get the fire energy. Very cool. So, gonna Trainer's Mail. Going to, and he quits. I was gonna win. Oh, he knew it. So you see the deck. Hey guys, so for my second game, instead of playing a game myself, I'm going to be critiquing the play of JGB146. He had asked me to coach him, and he was going to put my coaches and critiques on his video, but he got really busy. He said it'd be cool if I did it on my channel. So I'm really excited about this. He's a really cool guy. I'm gonna be critiquing his play. I'm not gonna try and be overly harsh or anything, but I am going to call mistakes. There'll be some things I'm sure that I'm not 100% on, but I could tell you what I would have done and what he did and compare and contrast the decisions. So before we get into it too much, he is playing against a Greninja deck, and his list is 1 card different than mine. He took out 1 Trainer's Mail for a special charge. And I used to do that, and in the right meta, I think it's fine, but I think I was wrong to do it, and I still think it's not the proper play, but I definitely understand the pool, and like I said, I did it before. So his opponent here is playing Greninja. We're gonna speed this up a little bit. We'll go 1.5. So his opponent here is playing Greninja and just attached and passed. So he has the opportunity to win turn 1, but his hand isn't great for that. I think he makes the right, okay. I think he makes the right decision to not go for that. And by attaching here, he said, I'm not going to do that, because to do it, you have to get a DCE and a elixir attachment. But he definitely should have played the max elixir before using Shaman. He has another one, so maybe that's why he didn't. But just go ahead and attach it to Volcanion. If you hit the elixir, you can Ninja Boy Volcanion or retreat with a DCE later if he gets Lysandered up. And you have another Shaman, but you don't really want to put 2 Shaman on your bench without a Sky Field. It's not the end of the world against this deck because its HP ramps so slowly, but it's still not ideal. So I definitely would have elixired first. Then he's gonna play Hoopa, I think, and let's see. Yeah, he plays Hoopa. He just gets a Jolteon and plays that. I think that's a fine play for the free retreat. Then he uses Shaman. So, okay, he chooses to not end because he has the damage he needs. He has a DCE in hand. I think that's fine. I probably would have ended there, but I think he was probably correct to not end there. So I think that was good for him to do that. And here he is going to attach DCE. That's good. Okay, so he's deciding if he wants to Lysander or N. He doesn't want to Lysander, even if he only had Lysander. You want to take this out because it has this attached. He's saying, I want to, I kind of want to Lysander because I don't want him to get the Frogadier back. But if he doesn't knock this out, he pulls up another Frogadier, knocks that out. Next turn, this is a Greninja, and his opponent gets the Greninja back as well. So it's definitely the correct play here to end. Then, okay, sorry. Then I would have Ultra Balled, drop the Xerneas and the Fairy Energy, get a Xerneas Break. Xerneas Break is so good in this matchup because 60 plus 80, they're going to be 60 from a Shuriken, 60 from a Bursting Balloon, whatever, plus 80 is 140, which is 10 short of Xerneas Break. So I definitely would have Ultra Balled here and then Super Rotted those two straight back into the deck. He doesn't, we'll see the effect of that, but okay, so he evolves to Greninja. Opponent evolves to Greninja, attaches Lysander's Hoop, I guess, just trying to stall it out. Okay, because he wants to slow the game down. That's fine. Okay, so he draws a Sycamore. So what you want to do here is what I said to do last turn. Ultra Ball, a Xerneas, and an Energy. Get Xerneas Break, play it down onto Xerneas, Super Rod those two back into the deck. Okay, so he Ultra Balls. Okay. So they're what? Okay, Ultra Balls. Okay, Xerneas Break is prized here, so you don't want to grab anything. Okay, so he doesn't grab anything, and you want to Super Rod immediately those two back into the deck. And then you can Sycamore or you can N. If you N, you keep your Ultra Ball, which is nice. Sycamore is fine. Yeah, Sycamore's fine. You could have ended there. Sycamore's fine. So he's gonna Ultra Ball here. Yeah, he's gonna Ultra Ball Shaman or N and Sycamore for a Shaman or a Xerneas. You want to get a Shaman here. Okay, so his Hoopa is active. So he wants to check how many DC. He has 2 DCE and 2 Float Stone, and I didn't see the. Yeah, there's no escape rope, so he has 4 outs. So he wants to grab a Shaman here instead of a Xerneas. Okay, he grabs another Hoopa. Don't grab Hoopa here
because once you put Hoopa down, you only have 2 spots left. You want one to be a Xerneas, and you're going to want a Shaman. Okay, so he's saying he wants to thin out his deck. That's why he grabbed Hoopa. Save Hoopa, thin out your deck 3 cards later rather than 1 card now. He only grabbed Shaman because he had 2 spots. He wants one for Shaman and one for Xerneas. Better to just Ultra Ball only for Shaman and save the Hoopa for later. So, what? Okay, here you don't want to attach. You want to play Shaman, even though you only get 3 cards instead of 4. Because if you attach, your 2 DCE are no longer an out. And your float stones are your only out. So you have to hit. You have 4 cards. You draw 4 cards to hit 2 outs rather than drawing 3 cards to hit 4 outs. And only drawing 3 cards with a possible 4 outs is better, especially in his deck because he is playing the special charge. So I would definitely I would not have attached there. Only get 3 cards and um, okay, so he finds the floatstone. So his play ended up working out better for him than what I said. That doesn't make it the correct play. It was the right play in this situation because it worked. It was the better play in this situation, I should say, but it was not the correct play. It was not the 9 out of 10 times, not 9 out of 10 times, but if you do this 100 times, more often than not, the correct play would have been to not attach. Um, but it did work out for him in this situation. So he plays the Xerneas, that's good. He can float onto Hoopa, that's awesome. Um, yep. Retreat into Xerneas and knockout. He might get return KO'd, but that's fine. So he gets the knockout, takes 60 damage, that's fine. Okay, and there's the Xerneas break. So next turn he has to make a decision. Am I going to evolve my Xerneas to Xerneas break, which means I can no longer elixir onto Xerneas break, or am I going to end my Xerneas breakaway or Sycamore my Xerneas breakaway? Xerneas break is really important in this matchup, but okay, bring out Jolteon for free retreat. Good. Okay, cool. So he pulls the Xerneas off the top deck, so that's perfect top deck. He can play Xerneas, evolve to Xerneas break, and then he gets both and. He gets the Xerneas break in play, and he still has a basic to which he can elixir. So that's awesome. Now here, I wish he would check his discard pile a bit more. Maybe it's different because I'm not in it, and he's more aware of what is in his discard pile than I am. But I really feel like I don't know enough about his discard pile. So like, how many elixirs are in deck? Do you have a good chance of being able to attack this turn? How many have you already used? So he has the choice here. I think here, I'm not sure if this is correct, but what I would do is Sycamore, not attach, Sycamore, and then hope for an elixir and a DCE. He elects to attach, which means he cannot. This means he cannot attack this turn because he would have to hit 2 elixirs. He wouldn't have been able to attack this turn anyways if he had done my play, and he would have had an extra fairy in the discard. So it works out for him again. But my way would have been just as fine here. He would have been in basically the same exact situation. I would special charge here, even though he only has 1 DCE in discard. He likes not to. I would, just because it's just 1 less card you see, and you'll get to see a DCE instead. Like if you get end, you don't. One second. If you get end, and you pull a special charge and you need an energy, that doesn't help you. So even though he'd only get 1 back, I would go ahead and play it. Again, I'm not 100% sure about that. I think that's right. Okay, that was also a mistake right there. So this is actually a really, really good video for learning, I think. So he's dropping this because it has damage on it, but it has his float stone. If I were him, I would drop 1 Shaman one Hoopa, and the Shaman. So he keeps the Shaman with the energy and the Hoopa with the float stone, just for the free retreat. Um, because a Shaman is gonna get knocked out the same as a Hoopa. So to me, it doesn't. In this instance, it doesn't matter if he keeps the Hoopa on board, because this Shaman is just as vulnerable, or this Shaman, or whichever he ends up keeping. Okay, this Shaman is just as vulnerable as that Hoopa, so there's no point in my mind of keeping the Shaman. Or sorry, of keeping that Hoopa instead of this one, because at least you have free retreat on the other one. He still would have had to Shuriken and attack. Um, not a Probably not a big deal. So he switches. His opponent switches here and passes. Okay. So okay, cool. He draws Skyfield. He wants to Skyfield. Um, yeah, attach. It's fine. Skyfield. Okay. Hopefully he will Skyfield here and play both of these down. And I would play this again, the special charge. So please Skyfield. You can do it. Yes. Okay, great. So he Skyfields, and then he's gonna put down both of these Pokemon, okay, not a huge deal probably, but in case you get End, you want to drop your Umbreon and your Genesect for multiple reasons. Number one, if you pull another Floatstone, you want to put on Genesect so that you can retreat anything for free, because his Genesect's ability lets you pick up an item. Number two, you want to put Umbreon down so that you can attack with Umbreon if you dead draw off an N, because Umbreon's attack lets you discard as many cards as you want from your hand and then draw that many cards. So both of those are really great for getting you out of sticky situations. Plus, if you get End, you don't want to see Umbreon, you don't want to see Genesect, you don't want to see Special Charge. What you want to see is a draw supporter, a DCE, and just not having those in your deck increases your likelihood of seeing them. Okay, so he pulls a Trainer Mail off the top deck. Opponent evolves. Opponent's in a really bad situation right here. He should. Okay, so had he played the Umbreon and the Genesect, this he would have been able to play these next turn, or he would have already played these. He won't be able to play them next turn unless he finds Skyfield, and he could have discarded uh, Hoopa and Genesect. That would have been fine, or even the Shaman. I probably would have dropped the Genesect, uh, or the Umbreon. I think the Genesect and just attach. So you would only have one retreaters, and then when you do find the Floatstone, just put on Volcanion. But now because he didn't. Oh, okay. Well, let's see if he plays it. Now because he didn't put those down, he has these extra cards in his deck, and if his opponent does play that in, then okay, he does play the in. So he made a very small mistake, and there are very big repercussions for it. He's going to, well, I mean, who knows? He might just pull a Sycamore off this, but okay, he doesn't. He pulls uh, um, a special charge, which should at this point be a DC in my opinion. He doesn't have the Umbreon down for the draw, and he has Umbreon and a Genesect in this deck that decreases chances of finding a draw supporter. So again, I do think those are very small mistakes, but they are costing him, I think. And so this Umbreon should be on board right now, but he wants to attack with Shaman anyways. Put on. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. That was a good play. Um, he can attack. I would. That's fine. That's fine. So he's gonna Rainbow. Now I would definitely play Special Charge, or maybe. I think now it's good to hold it. He's gonna lose this Xerneas next turn probably, and then he can Special Charge that. So he pulls a DCE, which is awesome. Um, let's see what happens here. Giant Water Shuriken. balloon. Okay, so I guess he doesn't have the energy. Oh no, he had the giant water shuriken to get the knockout. Okay, yep, that's the power of Xerneas break. Awesome. So his last card was an energy though, so that's really good. So he gets the knockout. We're gonna pull. Okay, always pull up Jolteon. It probably doesn't matter. It only matters if this is like perfect. This game has been perfect for teaching, I think. So it only matters if he top decks an Elixir, or he decides he wants to attack with Umbreon or something, which I don't think he would here anyways. But so if he had, he should have always pull out your free retreater, and then he can Elixir onto Xerneas, hopefully hit it, and then play his DCE elsewhere if he wants to. This video has been really, really good for teaching. I'm really glad. This game's like perfect. He's making small mistakes, which are having repercussions. So sometimes mistakes don't have repercussions. Um, Very cool. So yeah, okay. He's saying here, yeah, I should have pulled out Jolteon, and then I could have elixired on Xerneas. So he caught his mistake. That's really good. Analyze your play. That's a great way to improve. And he hasn't been playing this deck for very long. He just made it. Um, so he's working out the kinks. I made tons of mistakes. I still make tons of mistakes. I was playing a game with this last night and I played so terribly. But had he pulled out Jolteon, he wouldn't, and he hit the elixir, which who knows if he would have. He wouldn't have had to have 4 energies on Xerneas. He could have had 3. Um, but yeah, so last night I was playing a game with this. I was playing so bad. So I'm still making mistakes. So it's definitely somebody who's new with the deck is going to be making mistakes too, and that's fine. But it's actually great for us because we're able to learn from it. Learn from the mistakes of others and your own. Okay, so he gets knocked out here. So what do? We pull out Jolteon. He only have to take one more prize card, so he should have this. Cool. Top deck Sycamore. Play Elixir. Um, well, he needs to see how many energy he has left. He needs to check his. Okay, good. So he's two. Okay, he saw he has 2 VS Seekers. He didn't see how many energy he has left in deck. How many energy he has left in deck matters. It matters if you only have 1 fairy energy left, you don't attach it to Umbreon. If you have, well, we know his prize card is a. We know his prize card is a escape rope. So he still has his second rod, I'm pretty sure. But anyways, you elixir. I would attach it to Umbreon. Umbreon's attack. He probably won't need it because he's got a Sycamore. Okay, he misses the elixir anyway, so it's irrelevant. So you place Sycamore here, and hopefully he can win this turn. Okay, he doesn't find the Xerneas. He's got 1 left in deck. So he's gonna rod here, grab 1 Xerneas, and 2. So he had 1 fairy energy, probably 2 fairy energy. 4, 4, 5, 6. So he's got 1 fairy energy left in deck. I would grab not 2 Xerneas. You already have 1 in deck. You don't need 3. 2 is great. So just grab 1 Xerneas and 2 fairy here. Yeah, instead of 2 Xerneas and 1 fairy, get 1 Xerneas and 2 fairy. So here you want to play DCE onto Umbreon, attack with Umbreon, discard, keep the elixir, keep the float. Go ahead and attach the float to Oh no, never mind, because I was thinking he was getting rid of his Hoopa. Hold the float. Go ahead and hold the elixir, attach DCE, attack with Umbreon, put the 2 fairy energies back. So you would have, I think, 3 in deck. And then use Veil of Darkness to discard 1 more DCE and a fairy, leaving you with a single DCE in hand. And then hopefully you can find one. He had, I think, 2 VS Seekers left, so he can hopefully find a Ninja Boy, attach to Shaman, and win. So let's see what he does here. Okay, he's gonna Sky Return. This is a mistake I made a lot earlier. He's gonna Sky Return, and once he does, he's not gonna have enough playable cards to draw any significant number of cards off of his Sky Return. Let's see what he does. Yeah, so he is going to Sky Return, but then he's going to go up to like 8 cards in hand. Yeah, 8 cards in hand. He's not going to play enough down for it to be significant. He should have definitely attacked with Umbreon there. Opponent finds Greninja Break. Giant Water Shurikens. So immediately I'm thinking, don't Shuriken Volcanion, because Volcanion can just Rough Seas, and okay, yeah, he's gonna hit Jolteon. Jolteon can just Rough Seas, but by hitting the Volcanion once, if he has Lysander, he can knock it out and take 2 types off because of weakness. So that if he has a Lysander, that was a really good play, but I don't know what he has. So, um, that's fine. He's trying to play cards out of his hand. That's fine. Now, do what I said last turn. Attach the DCE here. Discard a DCE and a fairy. Actually, attach a DCE elixir. Attach the DCE here. Okay, yeah. Elixir first. See if you hit it. If you hit it, attach it to Umbreon. Then you can. Let's see what he does. Then you can attach depending on whether or not you hit the elixir. Okay. So he's going to be able to Shaman for 2 at least. I still would have attacked with Umbreon last turn. You didn't know if you were going to draw playable cards. I guess he knew he had those except for the belt, but I still wouldn't have. I still would have attacked with Umbreon. Okay, cool. So he got the VS Seeker, finds a Xerneas. You play Xerneas. So you can Ninja Boy here. Hoopa, and then into a Xerneas, and then you can win next turn if he doesn't knock you out. He very well might be able to Lysander knock out. So you might just want to hold and not let him think about your Ninja Boy. Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't play anything. Looks like he is going to Ninja Boy. Yeah, he is going to Ninja Boy. So the only thing is you just make your... Okay. You don't want a Ninja Boy Shaman. I guess he's saying want a Ninja Boy Shaman for the health. Or because Shaman's squishy and 120 HP and he can take 2 prizes like that. But you want to access your energy here. So what you want to do is just... I would have just passed and then next turn just win the game. Oh. Yeah, so that was a misplay. But he wouldn't have been in the situation had he attacked with Umbreon earlier. And yeah, so this is actually a really good video for learning because he made a few little mistakes that are... He's still probably going to win. But cool. That Rough Seas really helped him out. Made Volcanion heal. So if he hadn't Ninja Boy'd last turn, he could have Ninja Boy'd this turn and won the game. So that was kind of one of his... I'd say one of his few like more obvious misplays. The rest I don't think were extremely obvious by any means. So he just pulls out. It's good to keep Lily. He's keeping Lily. He said, I'm going to keep Lily in case I get end. That's a good call. So... Okay, so now he can't... He's not doing 170. 30, 69, 120, 50, 160. He's not doing 170 anymore. He could lose this. He's going to Lysander. I would Lysander the Volcanion. Well, I guess you don't want to Lysander Yeah, okay, that's a good play by the opponent because maybe he can't retreat Umbreon. So heal. Good. Skyfield. Okay. If the Greninja player finds what he needs, he's gonna lose. Um, so we know this is his escape rope, and there's his one float stone. His other one's here. He has to attach to attack. I don't think he has another elixir, so he can't get out of active. I think he just lost. I think he's just lost. So he's gonna play Beedrill and Genesect, um, and then Shaman, but I don't think he has a way of retreating, and then I think he just loses. So this is actually such a good video for learning. You saw him make some very small mistakes that cost him the game, and you saw him make one bigger mistake that cost him the game, with the Ninja Boying Shaman instead of Hoopa, and waiting in Ninja Boying Hoopa. Um, wow. So a lot of times when you make, well, I don't think he has a way of retreating. So if he could lose next turn if the Greninja player. So you're with your friend in a tournament, and you say, how'd your round go? And your friend says, oh, I prized escape rope. I got unlucky. I really needed that. And it's true. He would have won had he not prized escape rope. Very, very, very small chance he would have lost this had he not prized escape rope. Um, but there were micro plays, micro decisions that he made throughout the game. Yep, micro decision that he made incorrectly throughout the game that cost him the game. So don't blame your losses on luck. Try to see your losses as your fault as much as possible, because you can't change your luck outside of these micro decisions that you can change. You can change your decisions. You can't change your luck. So uh, just want to thank my buddy from Reddit Online again for letting us critique his video. JGB146, thank you very, very much. And subscribe and like the video. Thank you for watching. I think this was an awesome video for learning. And until next time.